What an unbelievable treat. Please make noise for the Lumineers.
How you guys doing out there? Good. All right, this is called Cleopatra. I was Cleopatra. I was young and an actress when you knelt by my mattress and asked for my hand. But I was sad you asked it, as I laid in a black dress with my father in a casket. I had no plans. Yeah. And I left the footprints, the mud stained on the carpet, and it hardened like my heart did when you left town. But I must admit it, that I would marry you in an instant. Damn your wife, I'd be your mistress just to have you around. But I was late for this, late for that, late for the love of my life. And when I die alone, when I die alone, when I die, I'll be on time. While the church discouraged any lust that burned within me, yes, my flesh, it was my currency, but I held true. So I drive a taxi, and the traffic distracts me from the strangers in my backseat that remind me of you. But I was late for this, late for that, late for the love of my life. And when I die alone, when I die alone, when I die, I'll be on time. And the only gifts from my Lord were birth and a divorce. But I've read this script and the costume fits, so I'll play my part. I was Cleopatra, I was taller than the rafters, but that's all in the past, love, gone with the wind. And now a nurse in white shoes leads me back to my guest room. It's a bed and a bathroom and a place for the end. I won't be late for this, late for that, late for the love of my life. And when I die alone, when I die alone, when I die, I'll be on time. Next one, this is called Ophelia. Before I begin, Jared's like sort of the guy from Mary Poppins right now. We have there's usually 5 or 6 of us on stage, but he's really taking one for the team by doing all this. So round of applause to Jared.
Don't clap just yet. Gotten there.
When I was younger, I should have known better. tight. And I don't feel alone anymore. And you can't see past my blind. Oh, oh, Phoebe, you've been on my mind, girl, like a drug. Oh, oh, Phoebe, heaven help a fool who falls in love. I got a little paycheck, and you got big plans, and you gotta move. And I don't feel nothing at all. And you can't feel nothing small. Honey, I love you. It's all she wrote. Oh, oh, Phoebe, you've been on my mind, girl, like a drug. Oh, oh, Phoebe, heaven help a fool who falls in love. Oh, oh, Phoebe, you've been on my mind, girl, since the flood. Oh, oh, Phoebe, heaven help a fool who falls in love. Oh, oh, Phoebe, you've been on my mind, girl, like a drug. Oh, oh, Phoebe, heaven help a fool who falls in love.
Hey, guys. Okay, guys, that was great. Thank you so much for coming, Wesley, Jeremiah, and Nayla. It's so good to have you here. And it's been a while since I've run into you. You know, I told this story on the air, but Jeremiah, you went to school with my daughter in college, and she would come see you when you were called Wesley Jeremiah. She loved you guys and introduced you to me, if you could tell that story.
Yeah, well, I was going to school at William Patterson University in Wayne, New Jersey, and your daughter Jessica was as well. And I remember my buddy won free tickets at another unnamed radio station, we won't say now,
Yeah, it doesn't exist anymore, but he and I both worked there.
on the East Coast. And he said, do you want to come to this studio for this Electric Ladyland in New York City?
Yeah.
For tickets, and then you were hosting it. And then I think, somehow ran into Jessica. She came to the shows when me and Wes and this other guy were just sort of dogging it in New York City, playing these small shows where nobody was coming. And that's really cool that you heard us at that was about 10 years ago, I think.
We
Yeah,
thought
it's
you could
amazing.
really help us too. We were like, we got to get this guy our demo. I don't know what the plan was. We're like, we just got to get this guy our demo. Yeah.
And so when my daughter introduced you guys to me, I just thought it was the coolest thing ever. So I've been so proud of you and watching, everything you've accomplished from that time. So she, sends her love, of course, and, she was, like she said, she would go to all the early shows, and I just thought that was so awesome. That's the kind of thing when you love music and music discovery, you go and you support not only the friends that you have, but artists that you love, Now, Wesley, you were working like 3 jobs at one time, right? When you were living in Brooklyn and yeah. What was that experience like? Because you, at some point, you guys said, all right, listen, I've had enough of this because rents are high. It's, it's no different than San Francisco. All right. So, but when you guys decided, I want to know what was the catalyst, the thing that made you both decide we're going to move to Denver?
Well, sometimes it's just a random, you hear something. So a friend of mine said, hey, we're moving to Denver, and this house we're looking at would fit both of you guys. You could have a practice space, and it would be half of what you're paying in this shady apartment in Bushwick at the time. And so I just started doing the math, and I was like, well, I'll have a lot more time for music and, working on my craft and touring. So we didn't really think about, is this a smart idea from like a go find ourselves in Denver? It was more like logistically we can probably be better musicians than we are in New York. I just remember bartending and meeting all these musicians who would say something like, I'm in like 6 projects right now. And I'm like, who's bankrolling you? I'm in like 1, and I can barely find enough time to get to our rehearsal studio. So it was just straight up, I got to go somewhere where I have more time for music.
Yeah, and that's great that it ended up working out that way. Let's go back to when the two of you first met. Well, you were friends since you were kids, but it was it was a tragedy that really brought you guys together and made you want to make music, which I think it was cathartic. I mean, losing a best friend and a brother, and let's talk. Can you talk about that just a little bit? Do you mind?
Yeah, no. I think that kind of sums it up too beautifully, that sort of this tragedy happens, and then out of the ashes and smoke of that, we formed this band. He had died. My brother, tragically overdosed of drugs when he was 19. I was about 14. It was Wes's friend. It was my older brother. And I think starting this band with Wes 6 or 7 years later, I think it was sort of our church without the religion. It was this great place of solace. Everybody goes through stuff in their lives, and I think it was a great way to take any sort of pain or anxiety, whatever you're feeling in life, and put it back into music in a positive, healthy sort of way. And again, it sort of sums up the story too easily, but that's kind of the gist of it. Like for me and Wes, and then eventually finding Neela, and now this band that we call the Lumineers. It's sort of all stemmed from let's make art, let's make beautiful music, let's get high off our own music and see where this can take us. And that was pretty much the only goal. It wasn't anything else really. It was just about art and music.
It was real. It was for all the right reasons, which I love. Leila, talk to me about when you met Wes and Jeremiah.
Well, I had never been in a band before, and I got a music ed degree, and I had graduated like probably 2 weeks before, and I was living with my parents and just perusing Craigslist for anything to get me out of the house. And they posted an ad for, these guys just moved from New Jersey and needed a cello player for their band. And yeah, it was not where I thought what I would be doing for a living.
Yeah. Guys, the White House. Let's talk about that too. Obviously we know how Ho Hey, and the first album blew up. But what is the experience of going and doing the White House? What was that like? Tell us about how you ended up getting invited there.
Well, Obama really likes Stubborn Love, so that's what got us into the White House, I guess.
It's on his playlist, right?
It's on his playlist. He walked in, he's like, who do we got here? I'm like, the Lumineers. Like, Lumineers. I love Lumineers. Comes in, starts shaking all of our hands. Then I said, oh, thanks for putting us on the playlist. He's like, you deserve to be on the playlist. It's like, he's just so casual about it. And we're all just losing our mind. Yeah. So he took a picture with us and made eye contact with each of us, and then we went out and played on the White House lawn right after that. Sort of in a blackout mode of thinking I just met the president and I got a photo.
That's great. No, that must have been amazing for you guys, right? I mean, so listen, I just wanted to say how happy we are that you came to play for KFOG listeners today, and again, congratulations. And so good to see you two again, and great to meet you. I've seen you many times, but we haven't caught up in a long time. And I know all our KFOG listeners appreciate it as well. Let's hear it for the Lumineers. We're going to do some more songs for you.
Thanks for having us, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, when we played the White House, we were late to our set because he was late. So we said, sorry, we're late. We just met the president. And it was but this is that song. This is called Stubborn Love. Here we go. 1, 2. Do you need a second? She'll lie and steal and cheat and beg you from her knees, make you think she means it this time. She'll tear a hole in you, the one you can't repair. But I still love her, I don't really care. when we were young. Whoa, we did enough when it got cold. Ooh, we bundled up. I can't be told, I can't be done. It's better to feel pain than nothing at all. The opposite of love's indifference. So pay attention now. Yes, I'm standing on your porch, screaming out, and I won't leave until you come downstairs. So keep your head up, keep your love, keep your head up, my love. Keep your head up, my love. Keep your head up, keep your love. And I don't blame you, dear, for running like you did all these years. I would do the same, you best believe. Yes, the highway signs say we're close. No, but I don't read those things anymore. Never trusted my own eyes. When we were young, whoa, we did enough when it got cold. Ooh, we bundled up. I can't be told, I can't be done. So keep your head up, keep your love, keep your head up, my love. Keep your head up, my love. Keep your head up, keep your love. Head up, keep your love. Keep your head up, my love. Head up, love. Keep your head up, keep your love.
We were in the Catskills making this album. We wrote a lot of it, the lyrics on this, just riding around. We each had motorcycles and we were riding around, and we'd be singing to ourselves, and then we'd stop, and we'd sing to each other over the engines, and nod and get excited, and then keep going and just keep singing like crazy people, just riding through. That's how a lot of this next song, Angela, was written mostly entirely in the studio. So this is called Angela.
When you left this town with your windows down and the wilderness inside, let the exits pass, all the tar and glass, till the road and skyline. The strangers in this town, they raise you up just to cut you down. Oh, Angela, it's a long time coming in. And your Volvo lights lit up green and white with the cities on the signs. but you held your course to some distant war in the corners of your mind. And from the second time around, the only love I ever found, oh Angela, it's a long time coming. Oh, were you safe and warm in your coat of arms with your fingers in a fist? Did you hear the notes, all those static codes in the radio abyss? The strangers in this town, they raise you up just to cut you down. Oh, Angela, it's a long time coming. Oh, Angela, spent your whole life running away. Oh, Midland. Oh, Midland. Vacancy, hotel room, lost in me, lost in you. Angela, I'm on my knees, I belong, I believe.